Now to the underage parties that have police and parents on high alert. This holiday season, the parties have been really bad as troublemakers get younger and more brazen. Reid Butler has the story and joins us now. Reid, this is really a wake-up call for teens and their parents.
That's right, Cam. With New Year's Eve tomorrow, there'll be teenagers out and about at parties across the country. But just because they're underage doesn't mean there won't be booze, drugs and gate crashes. Tonight we take you inside those teenage parties and show you just how dangerous they can be.
They have no respect for the law, the authorities, property or people.
We should feel safe in the community, but unfortunately that has gone.
Out of control and out of their minds.
This generation here have no care factor. They just do whatever. They think it's all a big party.
Don't go near the police. Do not go near them.
Tonight, our special investigation into the wild world of so many young Australians. From the attacks that happen in broad daylight and in public, to the ridiculous drunken behaviour at underage private parties.
Hey girls, you don't want it.
It can be an unsafe situation for the people at the party, but also for our members.
As you're about to see, there's booze, there are drugs, and there's plenty of attitude.
Alcohol is rife, hard liquor, party pills.
Just off camera, this Asian police officer is forced to endure a racist tirade from a 15-year-old girl.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Here, two young women argue with security guards.
Do not touch me.
Thank you. Please go.
Touch her.
Go. Get your You are not invited. You are not invited.
They sort of play on the fact that they're underage and you can't touch me.
And they just mouth off
at
the police.
For the
they
whole
have no
time.
respect.
No respect, no respect.
Chances are this sort of shocking behaviour is happening every Friday and Saturday night near you. Drunken nights out that can have devastating consequences.
It might be just a silly prank or whatever can lead to death or severe injuries.
And now, more than ever, it's social media fanning the flames of drunken teen violence. As soon as details of an event are put online, they can be spread. And before you know it, hundreds of people can find out about what was meant to be a private party, opening the door to gate crashes intent on causing trouble.
Well, it's just getting to a point where this 15, 16-year-old age group, their parties are getting bigger. So we're talking about 200 patron parties regularly.
Naomi Oakley is a woman who knows these parties well.
In the last few weeks, we've had threats of weapons, knives. We've had, threats of gate crashes turning up.
The former cop runs a private security company specialising in young people's parties and special events.
A to K this side first aim, L to Z that side.
She's seen it all and heard it all.
Don't talk to me, old bitch.
Oh, nice.
It was pretty disgusting, actually.
Mariana Di Gregorio hired Naomi to supervise her daughter's 16th.
It was a full-on night.
The party got out of control after news of the event spread on social media.
My daughter put it on private Facebook, like a private Facebook event, and through that, obviously, kids that weren't invited, other kids sort of photoshopped the message of the party, and that's how it sort of got escalated and got out of control, I suppose, on social media.
It wasn't long before gate crashes arrived.
In fact, we had probably 30 or 40 gate crashes at that event, and they were just there causing trouble on the fringes of that venue, and they wouldn't move on.
We didn't know who they were, what sort of their background was. A lot of them were alcohol and probably drug affected.
This is a private gathering. You are no longer welcome.
We are invited.
Yes, you are now uninvited.
Police were called and things turned ugly and dangerous.
When the teenagers were told to leave, they actually all walked over to one of the highways and were just walking around playing chicken with cars.
If I get raped, I'm blaming you. What's your name?
One of those girls said to the police officer, if I get raped, it's your fault.
Correct.
What do you think about statements like that?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Naomi says the behaviour is getting worse and the offenders are getting younger.
They're hell-bent on causing problems if they don't get their own way.
Kids as young as 14 have been caught smuggling illicit substances into parties.
Getting drugs into parties and, you know, the young boys with their bum bags and that sort of thing, you know, and they'll make excuses for you not to have those bags. They'll say I'm a diabetic or medication. We've heard it all before.
We're getting called to many incidents of local private parties, which we see are getting out of control. It's taking up a lot of our resources.
Inspector Chris Large is from Victoria Police.
Most of them are good kids. From time to time, particularly when there's excessive amounts of alcohol or drugs involved, that affects people's behaviour and their interactions, not only with the public, with their family, but with police.
You know, we're supposed to be the lucky country, you know, but unfortunately I don't feel very lucky, you know, having lost David.
No one knows just how bad the consequences of a punch can be than Katerina Politi. Her son David Kasai was killed after being the victim of a coward's punch on New Year's Eve.
Someone asked me that if David was still here, what would he be doing? And I said, still barracking for Collingwood, I'm sure. Maybe starting his own landscaping business, you know. But that's not the case.
It was an unprovoked, alcohol-fuelled attack. His attacker was sentenced to 9 years in prison.
One punch does kill. It can destroy a life in one instant. You know, you can't take it back.
And they're not bulletproof. And at some stage, something has to give. There's got to be, we have to do something, because at the moment they're just, you know, running amok.
It is frightening. Katerina has launched the Stop One Punch Can Kill campaign to try to end drunken violence. And if you'd like to know more, there is more detail on our website.